Hey there. So last week I was just let go from my job. Yeah, I just lost my job, um, and I thought I would make this video to help others kind of navigate this sort of situation, because I know it's not an easy situation, um, and I've been through it a couple times. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what sort of what I went through. I'll help you organize your emotions because you're probably going through a lot, and I think it would help stabilize you. And also, I'll just give you some practical steps to help you in this transition of yours. So let me start by just explaining what happened with my recent job. So I've been working in a crypto company for the past 3 years as a business analyst, and it was a new industry I got into. I previously didn't work in blockchain and crypto and business analysis. But I got into it, and over the past 3 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs in the company. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. But due to the nature of the company and the clients that we work with really large, like enterprise clients. It's been really difficult to sort of break in to the industry in terms of selling products and software products that my company makes. So there has been successes which I have contributed to, and I'm very happy about that. But also, it's just been very difficult. The sales cycles with enterprise clients are incredibly long. There's a lot of hoops and gatekeepers and regulations and things like that, which means that sometimes I'm not able to hit my KPIs within the company. So anyway, that's been happening now for about 3 years, and the company has essentially pivoted into a new strategy where they don't have a sales department anymore at the company. The company is purely growing off a founder-led strategy. And what that means is basically the founder is doing all the sales because he lives in Dubai, and there's a lot of good networking opportunities there, and the company is basically making money off that. And it makes sense what the founder has done, to change the strategy and let go of the entire sales department. Because they've not been seeing a good ROI on the sales department, right? So it makes sense, but it also means that basically I've been made redundant. So I was told that I was made redundant last week, Tuesday. I kind of knew it was coming. I was already feeling like, there's not that much work being sent my way. I'm being included less and less in meetings and different proposals and projects and whatnot over the past few months. So I kind of felt like something was going on. It's not that I haven't been doing any work. I've been working on my own deals and stuff within the company. But there was already signals pointing to that my role was being less emphasized within the company. So it didn't come as a surprise to me, but I didn't know when that would happen, right? So, I've been working on deals, and some of the projects that I've been working on that, while it was going in the right direction, I wasn't able to hit sort of the bottom line KPIs within the timeline I was given. So yeah, so they told me, when they told me, I wasn't surprised, but there was so many emotions. I was sad. Obviously, I like working for the company and I've enjoyed the journey I've been on so far. I was angry as well. Like, I wish there was more communication on what the company was thinking, and maybe there were points where they did tell me that, if things don't change, then your role is at risk. But they didn't really make it explicit to me. So there's anger about that. There's also relief as well. I'm relieved that I can move on and look for something new, and excitement over the different opportunities and paths I can take. Relief that, I'm done, basically. I'm done with this and I can move on, Shame that I didn't hit those KPIs. What did I do wrong? Maybe I could have done this better, things like that. So if you're going through this, I can imagine you're going through a lot of different emotions right now. And yeah, it's just a lot, right? It's just a lot to be told that news. On the call, when they were telling me they were letting me go basically on the call, I was in a call with my line manager and the HR person, and they were very professional. Yeah, they were letting me go very in a respectful way. And I was struggling to keep my emotions in check. I was just like, I could feel it boiling underneath. So that's what's happened. And now I kind of want to help you put all your emotions in the right place and understand where they're coming from, help you organize them. And I think it would help you a lot to kind of stabilize yourself and feel like yourself, right? Because I know that all these emotions can just throw everything out of whack. And I've been through this before, right? This is not my first time being laid off. I've been laid off 3 more times before this, essentially. So I've been through this before. So I think I'm in a good position to kind of, help you do this transition. And, I'm not a psychologist or a career coach or whatever, but I'm just going to tell you what helps from my own experience. So that you're going through different emotions. Let's go through each one and explain what the emotion is, why you're feeling it, where does it come from, and hopefully by the end of this, you would feel a lot calmer and more stabilized and more like yourself again. So I guess the very first emotion you feel is fear, right? Intense. Well, I don't know if it's intense, but intense sort of fear of the unknown, what's going to happen now. You're doubting yourself on your own abilities. You're just afraid of what might happen next, right? Because you just lost your job. You perceived that you've lost your security, your perceived security of having income. Maybe you got some bills to pay. So there's that fear, right? So that's okay to be feeling that. I felt that as well. But that fear is good and it's bad at the same time. So the fear is good because it's telling you that you need to take. It's kind of protecting you. It's telling you you need to take some certain steps now to secure or to get security back in your life because you just lost your security, right? So that's the good side of it. But the fear can also be bad when it spirals outside of control. And where that is coming from is essentially you've probably had some past experience in your life that has made you feel this way when you were younger. And that childhood experience or that previous experience has sort of formed your own identity around security and your job and what your job means to you. And that's essentially where that's coming from. Now, and the point of why is this useful to know where it comes from is it's useful to know that whatever happened to you doesn't make who you are, right? Whatever happened in the past that is causing you to have so much fear now doesn't form who you are. You're not that person. That thing that happened to you was out of your control, right? It just, things happen in life and it just happened to you. So it doesn't mean who you are and you're not a failure and all that kind of stuff. It's just, it is what it is. It just happened. And from that experience, you have developed this fear. But I'm telling you that it's not who you are. And it's just trying to protect you from more pain or from more suffering. But it's just what you're perceiving. It's not actually real. It's just a mechanism that your mind creates to protect you. So that's fear. So now you have fear. So put that fear onto one side, right? Okay. So that's your fear. Organize it that way. It's not you. It's just your brain trying to protect you. But it's not you. It's not your identity. It's not who you are. So that's there. Then the second thing is you're probably feeling very demotivated. You're feeling like a loss of energy. You're probably feeling like, what's the point? Like, I don't want to do anything anymore. Like, I just want to withdraw from everything. I want to stop. What's the point in even trying things anymore? And yeah, just a lack of energy, a loss of energy. Probably also because this feeling of being let go is so overwhelming, right? It's just so many feelings. You're probably feeling like you need to like conserve your energy and pull back a bit. So you'll also probably feeling some shame as well. And that's also causing that as well. You're trying to like preserve your identity. You feel shameful, so you don't want people to see you. So you're kind of pulling back. You're feeling demotivated. You don't want to overreach anything. You're kind of pulling back. So you're probably feeling that, and the reason you're feeling that is also because of something that happened to you in the past as well. Something that happened to you, just like fear, something happened to you in the past that made you feel shameful, something that didn't go in the way that you expected. And now it's happening again, and you're probably feeling unmotivated to go into the next whatever your next step might be, your next journey, whatever, you're probably feeling that. So here again, like fear, it's something that has happened in the past, which is also probably out of your control. Probably something that happened in your childhood, something that something that happened to you earlier in life where, you didn't have any control, or you may not have been aware of how to change that situation because you just weren't aware. You didn't have the know-how or the experience yet to navigate that situation. So it was out of your control. So again, with this one, it's not you, it's not who you are. It's just something that just happened to you. And it's not dictating who you are as a person. It's nothing to do with your self-worth as a person. So with this one, you put it on the shelf as well. Like with fear, this is the feelings of demotivation and stuff and wanting to pull back, you put that on the shelf as well. So that, you can organize it in that way, put that there. So you got your fear, you got your demotivation and shame. Now you got those two on the table there. Okay. So then another thing that you're probably feeling is a loss of identity. So, you've had this job for a while, you've been making good money or some money or whatever you're making, and you've probably had this whole lifestyle built up around that. But now that you've lost it, you're thinking like, shit, who am I now without this? All the previous things that I was doing, can I do them anymore? Like, I don't feel safe now to continue dating or to continue, doing whatever you were doing, going to the gym or like planning your trips, traveling, whatever, planning all these plans and and things to like progress. And so now that you've lost this job, that whole thing is gone out of whack, right? Like you've lost it. You've perceived that you've lost it. And your security from your income, and you're probably questioning who are you now without this job? Like, what's my value in this world? And that's what I'm feeling as well. Like, who am I without this job, without this crypto job? Am I a crypto person? Like, who am I? I'm just right now I'm just a person. Right? So the reason why you're feeling that is, in society, everyone has jobs, everyone has their thing that's going on, and everyone has this person is the finance person, this person is the go-karting person, this person is really into craft beer, everyone has their identity, right? So it's a societal conditioning thing. So now that you've lost your job, you've lost that identity in that place in society, right? But just know that it's not you, again, as well. It's not you. It's just how you've been brought up in this society. You've been conditioned to think, this is the thing that I do, so that is who I am. But it's not. It's not you. It's just this illusion that we all say everyone does a job. I'm into craft beer, or I play chess. That these are just things that we use to fit in to society, right? Because we're human, we're social animals and whatnot. So it's just some conditioning by the environment on you, but it's not actually you. Okay. So put that on the shelf as well. So now you've got fear, you've got your demotivation, your shame. Now you've got your sort of your identity, your desire to feel like you fit in. So now you've got that. So we've got 3 things on the table now, yeah? So hopefully this is helping you, by the way. But this is how I like to organize what I'm feeling, just so I can see it on the, when you can see it on the table, it's not as bad as when it's just in flux and going crazy in your mind, right? So you got 3 things on the table. The next thing is probably you're feeling some anger towards people within your company and your colleagues. Maybe you were let down, or like, some, if this guy did this wouldn't have happened, and if things went this way, then it would have worked out. Or if they told you this thing sooner, you would have done this. Or if they've listened to what you were saying, this wouldn't have happened. There's probably some anger towards that. Like, oh, it could have worked out if you just, if you told me this, or you just did what I said, or like, there's probably feelings like that, right? So with this feeling is like you're trying to, because you just lost your security, you've just lost control over your life, you're trying to regain some of that. And it's manifesting as anger. You're trying to like say like, oh, you could have done this, you could, like, if this went this way, or if this thing didn't happen, or you're trying to regain that sense of control. And that's completely normal. That's, I was thinking that as well, like during the call, like when they were laying me off, like, if you told me this sooner, or if you made it more clear to me, or like, the CEO didn't really make this clear to the salespeople, or like it wasn't really communicated, I would have changed something, right? So I was feeling that, like, why didn't you, like, So you're trying to regain some control. And again, with this one, it's probably something that happened. You were rejected in the past. You were some feelings of abandonment, some feelings of betrayal in the past, some experience in the past that happened to you. And you use anger as a way to regain some of that control. So, okay, so now you have anger. So we got 4 things on the table now. We've got fear, we've got feeling unmotivated, shame, we've got your loss of identity, you've got your anger. So now we've got 4 things on the table. So got them placed nicely on the table here. You can see everything, okay. And then I think the last thing that you're probably feeling is anxiety as well. So now you don't know what's going to happen. You're playing all these different scenarios in your head. You're trying to see what's the best path forward, what's going to happen with this, or I got this plan with this trip, or I need to cancel it, or, I need to, what am I going to do? Like, the job market isn't doing so well now. Can I even find a job? I don't have that much money. How much runway do I have? Do I have enough money to survive without a job for like 2-3 months? If I don't, I need to get a job straight away. Can I get a job straight away? You're going through this anxious, you're worrying a lot. And that's like, everyone does that, right? So everyone does it. So that's, again, it's similar to anger. You're like trying to regain control. You're trying to, establish control again. So you're going through all the scenarios. You're trying to think through everything. So that's also fine as well. So with all these feelings, so we've got 5 now. So the 5th one being anxiety. So all these feelings, they're completely fine. They're normal. They're normal, right? But I think it's helpful to kind of stabilize your emotions and your thought processes, because now you're in a kind of you're in a transition mode, right? You're kind of like, you're going into your next step in life, right? So it would help for you to be calm. So with all these things we've got laid out now, we've got 5 things laid out. They're all completely normal. They're all parts of you that have been generated by some previous experience that was out of your control. And because it was out of your control, it's nothing to do with your self-worth. It's just your emotional and mental thought processes that are trying to protect you against further suffering. So they're good in a way that they're trying to protect you, but what I'm saying is, let's organize them and let's not have them get overboard, if you know what I'm saying. Like yeah, feel anxious and worry about what's going to happen, but don't think because you're feeling anxious that you're an anxious person and like your worth is less because you're not sure what you're going to do, and or you're feeling fear because you don't have a job, you don't have income, so you're feeling like a less of a person. No, it's not that. You're you. All these things are separate to you. These are just things that are tools in a way. They're just tools. So we got 5 tools laid out here, but they don't tell you who you are. You are you, and these tools are just tools. They're just there. Okay, so hopefully that has helped you kind of organize those tools. Got 5 tools there. Hopefully that has stabilized you in some way. It's helped me. So basically I meditate and I write all this down, and it just helps me organize everything. So now that I've helped you, and hopefully I've helped you, I'm going to go through some sort of practical steps. What's the next steps you can take after you just lost a job? Because I've been through this a couple of times, so I'll just go through some steps which I think might help you, and the steps which I'm also taking. So I've actually got them written down here. Yeah, so after you've been told you've been let go, or you've been laid off or fired, well, not fired, but you lost your job. The first step is just to relax. Don't make any decisions on the day. You probably already are thinking of making a decision, but I would say on the day and even the 2 to 3 days after, I would say just relax. Just organize all those tools, organize all your emotions, tell a friend, talk to a close friend about what has happened. Let them comfort you. Talk to a family member, if you can. Sometimes talking to family it makes it worse sometimes. But basically, just talk to someone that you trust, and express your feelings, externalize those feelings. Externalize your fear, externalize your anxiety, externalize your anger towards your employer. Just externalize all of that. And what you'll find is, after externalizing it, I know it doesn't sound like you would do anything, but it does help. You would come to some realizations after externalizing and talking through your thoughts. It's I don't know how it works, but it works. Even writing it down as well, just writing down all your feelings. I know it doesn't sound like it would work. Like, what does writing your feelings down do? Or writing your thoughts down do? It feels like it doesn't do anything, right? But somehow it does. I don't know. That's what I've found anyway. So the first step is just to relax, externalize all your feelings, write it down, talk to someone you trust. Second thing is to recognize all your emotions, all that stuff, all those 5 things I just talked about. Just recognize all of them, put them in their own place, understand where they're coming from, and understand is those things are nothing to do with you. They're nothing to do with your self-worth. Your self-worth is so much more than that, okay? The reason why you're doing that is just to stabilize yourself, is just to feel like yourself again. Like, okay, yeah, this thing has happened to me, but yeah, I'm feeling this because of this, I'm feeling this because of that. I've externalized I've told my friends about it, And it's like, yeah, okay. So I'm here now, yeah. Yeah, this is my new thing now. Okay. It helps to stop the free fall, the free fall of feelings. So anyway, that's my second step for you. So the next few steps are more practical. So then the third step is to check with your employer, check what you're going to get, like your final pay, like what's your pay slip. Ask them for a breakdown of your final pay slip. Are you getting redundancy pay? Are you getting your bonuses as promised? Are you getting paid for any untaken holidays? Ask for a breakdown of that so it helps you plan. List down anything that you may have, you feel is unfair with regards to how they have let you go. So if anything's unfair with that, like maybe they should have told you sooner, or like maybe it's unexpected, like where did this come from, and think of all those things. Get your final pay slip, see the breakdown, see if there's anything that is like any discrepancies with what you expected. So that's the third step. So just to see what you're going to get from your employer, okay? The fourth step is now you've been freed from this your situation. Now you can consider all the possibilities of your life, right? All the different options, all the different paths that you can take. Now you can look at all of them, right? So now you're kind of like in this stage where, how do you want to live your life over the next 1 to 2 years? So now you're in a cool spot where you're like, yeah, this has happened to me, but now I've got all these doors open that I can walk through. And you feel excited, right? Like, oh, I can do this now. So the fourth step is just to look at all your options. Just to look at all your options. So what I'm looking at is, continuing work, finding a new job in the same industry. I'm looking at maybe going full-time on this YouTube. Thankfully, I have savings to do that. I live in the UK, so now I'm considering relocating to Malaysia, because my runway would be much longer in Malaysia. I'm considering part-time work, considering maybe getting into like doing all these other things that I was thinking about doing, like modeling, doing some influencing, Maybe I won't be doing that, but I've just considered all my options. So yeah, I suggest you do that as well, because once you know your options, it starts to feel a lot less like you're like cornered, and it's exciting, right? You can see like, okay, if I can design my life now, I'm free to design my life. How would I like my life to look like? So that's the fourth step. So once you've got all your options, you've got like your final pay slip, you've seen everything, you know how you're feeling. The fifth step is to make a plan. So I would suggest by budgeting first. So budget like how much you got in your savings, what you're going to get from your final pay. Look at what you owe in bills, your rent and whatnot. Put that in a monthly budget thing. So on one side, how much money you're going to get in savings. On the other side, how much money you're going to be paying. And then look at the balance on the third sort of bit of the table there. So look at that. Look at how long you can survive without a job, just so it gives you a timeline of when you need to find another job. If you need a job immediately, then yeah, just instantly basically look for a job, like start looking for a job. Have a look at reducing some of your bills, reducing all non-essential activities like drinking, maybe when you're going shopping, like stop buying all those extra groceries that you don't really need, have a look at that. Stop going out as much, just reduce your expenses. If you have some money to last you over the next 2-3 months, whatever, great. So, you feel a bit more comforted. Maybe you take a month off, just realigning with who you are and what you want to do with your life. That's great. That's awesome. It's a rare opportunity to do that because, when do you ever get a month off or like couple months off to like really think what do you want to do, right? Especially now that you're a bit older. Like I think the last time you could have done that was probably in university or during your childhood, right? So it's a rare opportunity to do that. So I would say you consider yourself really lucky if you have that. So yeah, make a budget, make a plan. Yeah, I would say the most important thing is the budget. Okay, so it gives you a timeline. Yeah, and then the next thing is the sixth thing is just to execute on your plan. So if you need a job immediately, update your CV, get your recommendations from your employer, look at what job you want to be doing, make a list of the companies that you like, go on your LinkedIn, change it to open to work status, reach out to your friends, your network, whoever you think might be able to help you find a job. Start collecting a list of jobs and titles that you might like to get into. Put that all on like a Google sheet, Excel sheet, whatever. Just list that all down. And then, just do all this preparatory work. And then maybe next week, that's when you start applying like mad, right? But I would suggest after, like, if you've just been laid off today, then I would suggest like just taking it easy. But within the next week, say you want to start applying for jobs if you need to. So yeah, so that's the sixth step, is just to execute the plan. Basically, just focus on it. And yeah, you should be all right. I think you should be all right. I think this is a rare opportunity for you to pivot into something else, to try that thing that you've always wanted to try. If you need the money soon to pay bills, then you know what you got to do. It is what it is. Things happen in life, right? It's not easy. Understand what you've learned from this experience. Gather all your learnings from your previous employment. What you've learned about yourself, how you feel about what has happened to you. Understand that actually I'm a tough person. I can handle this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my next thing. I've handled this, and I'm a tough person. Yeah. So yeah, so hopefully that has helped you. That's basically what I'm doing. It's what I've done with my past few redundancies. My first redundancy was quite scary. I was I was actually laid off because I was working on a dropshipping store, and the quality of my work at this engineering consultancy, like, they noticed I was sort of checked out mentally at work. And they basically laid me off, and I just told them I really don't like this company. I was very emotional back then. I was feeling very intense. So that was the first time. Yeah. But I would say after each time I got laid off, it always has led to something better. My salary has always increased after each layoff. And it's probably lining up with some kind of, I am quite spiritual, I would say. And I'm still exploring this in my life, but I would say you getting laid off is probably lining up with some synchronicity somewhere. Something is happening for you that is probably very good, but you're not aware of that. It's like the universe is pushing you in the direction you're supposed to be going. So I think it's very exciting. So yeah, so that's my advice for you. Hopefully that's helped. If it has helped, leave something in the comments below, just so I know. And I want to hear as well, like, what's happened to you. But yeah, hopefully that's helped, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.